this computer. There we go. Okay, so I'll just share my screen with the set that you were interested in. So can you see that there? This is the mix and match set.
Yep.
That has had some synchronization issues. And I guess the quick way that I can see that it is not properly synchronized is this, that according to mix and match, there are 750,000 that are already matched, fully matched, not just like preliminary, we think there's a match because of something, that they're meant to be fully matched. And so therefore these IDs should already be in Wikidata. When we go to the Wikidata item for that same set, then on the discussion page, there are some statistics about it. So if I go there and you see that there are actually only 85,000 uses of this identifier. So that's a straight out clear mismatch. Now, that means that there are lots of things in here that we'd like to get into Wikidata, and that I think is the basic aim today, to try and get all of these fully matched things, which might have been fully matched by users. You said you'd done about 1,000 of them in the last week.
Yeah, I've done about 1,600 now.
All right, super. But these may also have been fully matched by, so I mean, I guess we can see them. They're fully matched by users, sometimes by the auxiliary data. So that probably means the taxon matching program, which like just looks for exact matches on the taxon name property and things like that. So this whole lot were done by auxiliary data. These ones were done by users, and so there's a whole lot. There's 15,000 pages of matches like that.
Can you go back a wee sec? Oh, I see. Yeah, I know where you are. That's right. Press on.
I'll go back to
exactly where you are.
Yeah. Yep. So these are the ones we want to put into Wikidata. We're not going to bother with doing anything to all of these other ones today, although obviously there's still 100,000 left to do something to, but at the moment we'll just concentrate on this, because that'll be, if there are 85,000 in already, then there are another 700,000 we need to put in. So that's a big deal. And it looks like, while we're on this page, it looks like nearly all of them were done in the very first couple of months, which suggests that they're not done by users gradually. They were done in a massive batch process. So they may be a little bit, we might want to check them a little bit, whether or not they're good. But I think the taxon matcher is usually pretty good. And if it does cause a problem, so like sometimes it'll match an insect genus to, also like a species name to, probably more a genus to that in a plant or something, because they've just happened.
Typically it gets confused anyway. I mean, like there's a problem because you'll find 3 genera with the same name. One is a plant and 2 is something or other else. And, and one's a name that is an invalid name or God knows what. And usually it sort of goes, this is a possible match, this is a possible match, but it doesn't actually, I don't think those ones would have hit the fully match.
Okay. All right. Well, then
because there's too many choices.
If it knows that there are 2 choices, and then I think you're right, it puts them in preliminary. Sometimes the insect one is not on Wikidata yet, and so it just assumes that the plant one is correct.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So in that case, we're going to make a mistake. We're going to make some mistakes. That's okay by me, because
I don't think that's a problem.
Yeah, because human users will probably be required to spot that anyway and sort it out. So,
and in any case, one can run a quick query in lots of ways, because
okay,
an insect isn't a plant, so it's easy enough to go
check that
taxon a plant.
Okay.
And has it got an insect?
That's an interesting question.
So it's really straightforward.
I wonder if there is a constraint about that. It doesn't look like one. So that we could make a special query constraint saying this this taxon must be a sub of an insect, maybe.
Yep.
But we'll do that later at another point.
Great.
So what I was going to say, whenever we get this massive mismatch and we want to synchronize it, the normal way to do that is to go over here, action, and then this line here, manually sync catalog.
Yeah, I've done that.
So you've done that. And
oh no, I haven't done a manual sync for the catalog. Yeah,
right.
no, I do. I do a manual
that.
sync every time I update within the unmatched area.
No,
because
that's a refresh. So you've done that. You've done a refresh.
No, I don't do a refresh. Every time I update in unmatched, because there's no connection with the catalog, I've always used manual sync. So I've been using manual sync.
Okay, so when
you press the time with this, it's had manual sync.
Oh, well, then, so when I press it, I just get this loading.
Yeah, no, it takes a long time. I move out of it and
how long?
Do other things. Well, I don't know what you've been doing, but
all I did was press manual sync.
Yeah, I know. I don't even sit in this window. I go elsewhere and fart around.
Okay. Well,
it pops up after a couple of minutes.
Okay. In that case, that could save us here. I'm going to leave it loading in this tab because if it comes up later, that might save what we're about to have to do. That is the normal way of synchronizing things. So let me just show you. For example, the faunal database, the one you did.
I've done that all the time.
But I think what you haven't seen is this. So if you go to manually sync catalog for this one, this one runs quickly. So we'll get an answer soon, I hope.
But that's the one I use all the time.
Yeah. But it's not done when you press manually sync.
No, I didn't know.
Right. Okay, so
no, I come to update mix and match.
Yeah, so you get this.
Update mix and match, and I only ever press the top one. I don't do the
right. So that means so this one is in the wrong. Well, it's a good one to do. This is very useful to update mix and match because what that's doing is taking anything that is on Wikidata and making sure mix and match agrees. So that's always a good one to do.
Yeah,
that's why you've been doing that one. This one I've previously recommended against this for you,
and that's my feeling too. I tried it in one case and I had to undo everything that I had just done.
And you know what? Do you know why that was?
I can't remember it so long ago.
Yeah. So I understand the kind of rule of thumb. Best not to use this unless you're really careful. So the reason is, let me show you this and show you what some of the problems are. So if we do this, basically what it means is these 73 connections were originally made on on mix and match, but for some reason they've been reverted on Wikidata, which might be by human intervention, probably is, right? So they're probably all wrong. That somebody has manually said, no, you did this wrong before, but the mix and match hasn't been updated with that because it just got hard overwritten in Wikidata and didn't filter back. So one way of filtering back would be to go through this list down here and see if any of the discrepancies or something might be down there.
And see, that's not a discrepancy. There are actually two.
You're right.
Two instances.
I think actually we've removed all the discrepancy ones down here. So actually there are no issues there. We can only find the issue by saying, go ahead, let's update Wikidata. So let's see what that does. I'm not going to actually press run because these are all probably bad. The reason these ones are bad, or some of these, is because when I made the mix and match set, I got wrong how they construct the identifier for a genus. Yeah. So some of these have been manually reverted on Wikidata. So because they don't exist, these identifiers here don't even exist in the database. So that's why lots of them are wrong. And I don't think, actually the way to fix that, the way to make it not show up as a discrepancy would be to go back to the database here to find I know we're going off topic for a sec.
No, press on.
Worth it
Good.
For a sec. So if I go search only in this catalog, I can put the name of that particular thing in. And remember, this is an identifier that probably doesn't exist.
Yes.
So what I'm going to try and do is say, no, that was Toby's error. This is an NA. Do you know NA?
Yep.
So once we find the recurvi rostra ID, there it is there. It's meant to be a genus, but if I click on it, it might fail. Yeah, so there you go. Oh, it's not a, which one is it? I don't know.
It's easy because you've got to match it to the genus.
Yeah, but
so
this one,
you've got to pick
this
which
one is not real.
Go back. You need to check what you had. So we're after a genus, and you can pick the correct one via the genus.
Okay, but it's not correct. This one here is not the correct one. The correct genus, if I click on the genus,
no, it's this one here.
So which one? Where?
Recurvirostra.
Yeah. So if I click that one,
and
where it gets that long thing. But
yes.
I didn't put that in the mix and match set when I made the mix and match set.
Yep.
So that's just full. This item here is not a real item.
Got you.
So what I have to do is say, no, remove that, and actually tell mix and match that it is not a real identifier. So it will never be matched in Wikidata. So say NA on that one, not applicable to Wikidata because Toby got it wrong. The set, like we've made the set now,
because
and we don't want to.
I've been doing them by hand within Wikidata.
And that's why, so that's why this this
pops up
thing says that there are 79 that are not matched, because
I'm not fussed by that.
You found the 79, and so, but the correct way to make mix and match understand that is to come back in here this slow way, and I understand it's a slow kind of process, but now mix and match will no longer be confused about this particular one. Anyway, so that's the 79 in the faunal directory. If we let's go again, and that's why you have not been doing that version of the synchronization, right? But for this new set that we're now talking about, the insects of the world, that is the direction we want to go. We want to take everything that is in mix and match, and we want to everything that's already been actually matched, and we want to shove it into Wikidata. And sorry, manual editors, if anyone has already overridden one of the ones that was previously put in, we're going to revert, we're going to re-override it and put it in, which is, so this could cause some trouble if anyone's been hand curating stuff. So we do need to be a little bit careful when we add 700,000 IDs, right?
Yes.
We're going to do this a bit
and
slowly.
A lot of those, they're matched, so they won't be subgenera, because those have got, it's got this property called zoological coordinates or something or other, which is ridiculous, but they have the same name. The genus has the same name as the subgenus name.
Yes.
So typically they won't have matched, so that shouldn't cause any dramas. So basically, with any luck, you will be matching things that are pretty unambiguously matched.
So my lesson is, my experience in large sets is that you never get good luck on 700,000.
No, you can't.
Even if you're batting at 99.9%,
it's still a lot of errors.
700,000 edits.
It's
going
a lot of
to
errors.
Cause an awful lot of errors. Yeah.
Okay. So what's the plan?
So be careful, right? We're going to be very careful and very slow. Once we have the list of 700,000 ready to go, we'll do some spot testing, right? So we'll do some single lines, or some bunches of 10 or 100 maybe, or 1,000 or 10,000
as we go
before we do the batches of 100,000.
I think doing 100,000 is going to be a disaster anyway, but let's go.
Right, but you see the point. Yeah, it's a dangerous game we're playing, but it's worth it, because we think so. By the way, Magnus also plays this dangerous game. He has a bot which you'll sometimes see on your watch list. It'll say micro sync, is the edit summary. What that bot is doing, the bot is called Reinheigsbot or something like that. It goes through mix and match sets and says, oh, there's all this information here that's not on Wikidata yet. Let's put it on Wikidata. So so this kind of syncing, it does happen behind the scenes. And for those other 79 in the other set, might actually get done again later. But I think he has a bit of clever smarts in there to make sure it doesn't do it more than once to the same item, so that he doesn't get smacked over the hand twice, which has happened to me when I've done something. So anyway, so we would like to do, oh no, this is the faunal directory. So we would like to
no, but we had 73 before. We're not.
Oh yeah, we got the one. Oh good, yeah. Okay, so that worked. So we would like to do this kind of thing on the Insecta page. My one still hasn't loaded. And
I think you're better off to close that tab and open it without actually going to the page. I find sometimes having gone to the page, I never get there.
So like this.
So doing a control whatever.
Wait, so I'm on this page, and then, I've got an action. You just want me to click that?
You do a control manual sync. And then it brings up another tab without going to the tab. And I find works.
So you want me to press the control button and then click?
And manual sync. And that should open another tab.
Yeah.
Which you do not go to until it's loaded.
Okay, I'll try it. So it's there. How will I know when it's loaded?
Because it'll come up, it'll start to look, you just sort of wander away and talk about other things.
Okay, well, okay, I will talk about the other thing that I was going to do, because on my computer, I was too impatient and I gave up before it ever loaded. So your patience has maybe worth it, and maybe we should do that in the end. What I was doing is something different. I got frustrated. I thought, okay, I can't get it that way. How can I get all this data, all these 750,000 things? All I really need to know is what was the ID and what was the QID that it was matched to.
Yes.
And so one way of getting that is to download the entire set. So now I'm thinking 855,000 things. Can I download a long list of all the IDs with all their matches? And so there is a way of doing that. So you go over here now. This is like an amazing system, right? There's so much stuff.
I've got to write something down.
Yep, you can. And remember, it's also recorded. So we'll get back.
Oh yes, I forgot about
it if you need. But do write down anything important. Otherwise you'll be trawling through an hour and a hal's worth of stuff.
Yes, indeed. It takes a lot longer to listen to something than to read.
So here's the download button, and that has some settings that we're going to need to choose as well. So I'll go there and we'll see what we've got. So it's downloading the right catalog. Here's all the stuff that it is has selected by default.
Yep.
But we want to. I actually had trouble even doing the download at first. So for example, if I just click go with all the default stuff, I think it'll give me an error.
Yeah, it doesn't come down.
And it'll say, too big, basically. Although it's having a jolly
It didn't
go
work
at it.
on the Australian faunal directory either.
Okay, so server error, right? And this is quite likely because it is too big. So let's go back then and think about how we can do this download a little bit cleaner or like smaller, right? So I do not want it to tell me the full URL of every one of these 855,000 things. So I'm actually going to unselect that. This is a column of like who did it, who did the matching, and that one actually is going to be useful because it'll be able to distinguish between people and bots. So I think we do want that column. Multiple matches is when like you were saying, there's one ID that could be 2 or 3 or more QIDs, and that's not a real match yet. So that's like a preliminary match. It's unsure what to do. We probably don't want to delve into those today.
Those in 700,000.
so just for today, we're going to try and actually exclude all the ones that are multiply matched. So I think that one of these is so this is hiding entries without multi-matches. Actually, we want the other way around. Oh yeah, here's what we want. We want to hide the unmatched entries. Yep. So we're only going to get a list of the 755,000, which are already definitely matched. So that'll limit it a little bit. That'll make it a bit smaller. So maybe that's good. Hide any, no, we don't want to hide the matched ones. They're the ones we want. We don't want to hide the ones matched by user. So these are no good. We could hide the auto matched entries. Don't know about that one. I'm not sure quite what that means actually, because auto matched. Let me see what auto matched. I don't know if that means preliminary matched or not. I think we don't want to hide it. We'll make a judgment after we see the data and see whether it adds up to the right number. So we'll accept that. We'll accept. We want the names and date ones. Oh, there won't be any name ones, all right? Tax on names, I suppose. So we don't want to hide them. So that's all good, I think. This is a smaller download. So this I tried to do. We also have to choose between JSON or tabbed text. My preference here is, because we're going to be maybe pushing it into quick statements later. Quick statements accepts stuff from Excel pretty easily. And so we may be best off just using tab text, which we can open in Excel.
Yep.
So I think that's a good one to go with. This is interesting. You can get the whole thing to open in a browser tab if you like, but I think we want a file today. And so then I'd just be clicking download. Now this may fail again because I think I had to end up switching browser. I don't know why. I don't know why Chrome is worse than Firefox for this, but
yeah,
for some reason
you had to swap it.
For some reason, yeah.
You found that with the Australian Faunal Directory as well when we were talking about it long ago, and I've found it repeatedly too.
Okay.
Because I downloaded your stuff twice, I think, which was a bit silly. I didn't need to, but I did download it twice.
Okay.
And both times I had to go to the open in another tab or whatever.
So now this is not Chrome anymore. This is a Firefox window, and I'm going to do the exact same thing here. Download, not the URL. Yes, the name, not the multiple matches. We're going to hide the unmatched entries. Tab text, download as file. Go. Now this one, the other day, it worked for me. So that's why I'm hopeful and confident. If it doesn't work now, which it doesn't, that's interesting. What did I forget? I wonder what I did differently.
I think it was, you didn't, I think you opened it in a new tab. I think you, I'd untick that download as file.
I have done that in the past, but the other day I definitely did not have a tab with 700,000 lines in it, because I don't even know what I would do with that. You're right. You're right. I have previously done it in other sets, but I think today we definitely want download as file. What I'm going to suggest then is, how about I pull out the file that I downloaded the other day, and we'll go with it. It might not reflect any of your most recent changes.
That's
Margaret,
fine.
you've been working on it. So what I'll do is then I'll grab my Excel, which should remember where the file was. So probably this in sector. If anyone's doing forensics on the recording, then you'll be able to see everything else I ever do in Excel. But anyway, just press pause a few seconds ago. Okay, so this is what we got. I think you get those columns there straight out of the download. So let me just make them a bit bigger, or just, I don't know, somehow show you what they say even. Matched. auto matched by, okay, so there you go. There's the kind of columns. I guess we can make that bold. And I just put 3 columns at the end. This one is literally equal to this one. I've just made a whole copy of it. You'll see why in a sec. This column just says P7224 because that's the property for this. And basically I'm setting these up so that I can copy them and paste them straight into quick statements.
Gotcha.
It unfortunately always needs the columns to be in
the right
order and in a row and all that kind of thing. So the only tricky one, or slightly tricky one, is this one here, where quick statements requires a double quote around anything that is just like a string or a number. And so there's my little Excel command for that: concatenate a double quote with this value here in column C2, and then another double quote. Unfortunately, double quotes are literally the thing that you have to put around the thing that you want to concatenate. So you have to escape the double quote by putting 2 double quotes, in there. That's like one double quote saying that you're about to give another double quote. So that but instead of closing the quotes, you're saying that you really want a quote. So that's super annoying. So what it ends up with is 4 double quotes in a row. Works for this, but anyway, I hope you don't have to do that too often. But yeah, so that's all I've done in that column. And so then the next thing I want to check before we do, like, we could just start dumping this in quick statements, but I want to sort of get a sense of what's going on in these columns. Oh, you notice actually I've filtered this already. I should have showed you what I filtered. What have I filtered? Not all items are showing. Okay, so let's go like select all. So I've undone my filter on Q, and I'll undo my filter on this one as well. So we're selecting all. Everything from everyone now is showing in the list. But I did notice when I was just kind of looking at the data, I did notice, for example, that this line has no Q. So that's not going to work. We're not going to be able to, that'll throw an error in quick statements. I don't, to be honest, I'm not totally sure what that line means. Like what is this? So this is the ID column. And
it's just delete it.
Anyway, the line is useless. So rather than delete it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to filter. Do you know this filtering?
Yeah, thing? I do know filter.
So I'm going to filter and just say I'm going to select everything except blanks. Yeah. So okay, that solves that problem. They won't show up again. The next column here that I was filtering on, and we probably for a reason, was who is the user. And so there's a bunch of auxiliary data matches. Those I think are when it's done this taxon equals taxon thing. So I think that's fine. But then there were some, oh man, okay, so there's a lot of them. Let's see what the options are. So we could say, oh no, Toby, he's dodgy. Let's not do any that he provided. But I think we can accept most of these names. Yours and mine are in there. But this one I'm suspicious of, right? Automatic is not properly matched. That means it's just a candidate. It's in the what's the column called? It's preliminary matches, right? So when it says matched by username automatic, I think it means preliminary matches. The reason I'm, oh no, that's might not be true. The thing I'm looking at right down the bottom of the screen, I don't know if you can even read it, but it says 755,000 out of 855,000 records have been found. What that means is this Excel file has 855,000 lines, which means if you go back to, let me go back to insects of the world. So just showing that again, right? 855,736 lines. That is exactly the number of lines in the Excel file, or the number of records, sorry. So we definitely need to exclude lots of those. We have already excluded 100,000. And I think that was by just leaving out all the ones with blanks. So now we know what those blanks were. They were in this unmatched category, totally unmatched. Now if we do the maths well, we could probably then figure out whether or not the automatics are these preliminary match. I think they are. So I'm going to also exclude those. We don't want to force them on Wikidata because they're probably wrong as well.
They're dodgy.
So we go here and we say, no, I don't like automatics. We'll also just scan down and just see anything else in case there's something special there, but I can't see any other special names. The only other special one is this auxiliary data matcher, but it's the one doing the hard yards. It's doing well here. We should do a spot check of one that was made by or maybe more than one that was made by that bot. But anyway, let's get rid of that. Let's see how much that goes down by. I didn't spot it. Anyway, it's gone down a little bit. Could be 4,000. Yeah, that could be right. Oh yeah, here. Okay, so the total here, 748. We're down to 748. That's quite close to what is listed as fully matched on this one.
Yes, it's very good.
It looks right.
Yep.
And maybe that's changed in the last couple of days because you were working on it. And look at this. If I scroll down here, in this month alone, somebody, maybe you, Margaret, has done 3,800 matches.
I think I've done a fair few because I did some.
Yeah. So that's why my number might not be the same number.
Some of them went up via the taxon matcher, because the first time I ran taxon matcher, I got about 1,000 going up to the fully matched, because they'd matched on the new items, presumably, that were, had not ever been in Wikidata before.
Yep.
And it might have been that it hadn't been run for a long while anyway. So there were a lot more taxa. But yeah, that did about 1,000, and then I've done about 1,600. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't fully understand. What did the 1,000? Was that the auto taxon matcher?
No, that was the taxon matcher.
Yeah, good. So okay. Yep.
I did taxon matcher, and that added. It wasn't about quite 1,000, but it was of that order.
Okay.
Up to the fully matched, and then I've been working via the preliminary match to make matches, but I've also been working just simply going to, I made a query and said, if it's an insect with an AFD, no, that was too many. If it's a beetle with an AFD identifier and no insects of the world identifier listed, and then I whacked up the Wikidata item, and I then searched for the the name within the insect or whatever, and I've matched probably about 200 or 300 that way.
Okay, great. So I'm afraid any of those changes, including the taxon match, may have been lost because I downloaded this a few days ago. Oh no, not lost. They're still in they're still in the current mix and match set. I just downloaded it a few days ago, so they might not be in the set that we're uploading now, but that's okay. We've got an awful lot now, so we'll be fine. We'll have plenty to do. So we are now, unless anyone else can see any other problems, we are now at the stage where we can start testing this out.
Yep.
So if my suggested way of testing, but I am scared here, right? So if you've got any other kind of concerns about what we're about to do, do stop me. My way of testing is to take a little set of these, paste it into quick statements.
Yep.
They go, but then watch what it wants to do before I actually press run the set.
Yep.
So if I copy that and I bring in my quick statements window, I paste a bunch. That's what they look like. Each line is just a queue, and then it's the right property, and then there's a an ID. These first 5 IDs, by the way, are probably really high level like taxa, so they're probably all well matched, but let's try. So we import those commands, and I haven't done anything yet. So now is the moment to really check before pressing go, because if I press either of these buttons, it does actually change Wikidata. So what it's saying is we're going to add the ID number 1 to Lepidoptera and so on. We could check that manually. So maybe I'll just do one of these manually. We can see whether or not it already has an insects of the world thing. It does. So there's a 5. That's good news. It was the same. And we can see whether, I should open this page, shouldn't I? Because then it's important to actually check whether we're still mapping onto the right database. Anyway, so that looks right. It's a superfamily Bombicoida.
Bombicoida.
So, okay, and that's right. That's the one we're going to match it to. Oh no, we already opened that. So yeah, I mean, that particular spot check is definitely fine. I think this set of 5, we might as well just do a set of 5, easy to revert manually even, and we'll just see. I think some of these might have, including that one, look like they're already matched. So I'm going to run it not in background. I'm going to run it like live, which means I'm taking responsibility for it in my browser. I can stop it in the browser. I suppose you can anyway. I think my sense is that this is a quicker and slightly more yeah, more immediate, but also I'm more responsible if I press
No, that's not really true, because when you run in background, you always have to label the batch. And therefore you can, when you go into contributions, you can pick out all of the ones from your batch. Exactly. And you can either ask for the entire batch to be reverted,
yes,
or you can work through that batch yourself. So it works either way.
Okay, but what you just described is good. That what that means is this gives us, if I did it that way, then I would have a batch number to be able to revert it, right? Yes, so this is a safer way. Yes. This is a more risky and slightly faster way, I think. But since it's only a batch of 5, I'm going to go ahead with the risky way, just as a set. It sounds like you've done this a lot.
I've done it lots of times actually, because I've been using OpenRefine.
Okay,
I've been doing batch, because what I did was I downloaded your entire data set and I just label each batch as I do it within OpenRefine by my name. But there are some things that I check because anyway.
Yep. Okay. No worries. So then here it says, actually, see this little exclamation mark? That means that it didn't bother doing it because the value was already there and it was the right value. So that's all good news.
Sorry, how did you say that it?
See this little exclamation mark?
Oh, the exclamation mark.
Yeah, so it says done, but it didn't really do it because it's got an exclamation mark next to it.
Gotcha.
And you can check, we should check that in my contributions, just see that what's this? Anyway, I don't know what that even means, but did we just do any edits? No, we did not. So that's all fine.
Oh, that's very nice.
So then let's do a bigger test and get some actual edits on the page so that we can see what we've done. So I'll go new batch and find a bunch more. And so I guess we'll go up to number 100 maybe. Let's try that. Again, we're just looking to paste them in. So there's the paste and we import them. So far, it's all safe. Now is the moment where I just look at it and see if we're sure. But I guess since the format of those
in classes and super families and all that kind of stuff.
So there's a chance these are all already done too.
They should all. They look
okay. So if this doesn't work, if this just shows us the same again, what we might do is go down to like the last few IDs and test a few of them instead. But let's try these 100 and see what happens. Oh, okay. We've got new action on the first 3 of them.
Excellent.
So it's claiming that we've. Oh, now, okay. I'm going to show all 500 and see what we can see. Lots of them have already been done before. In fact, most of them have.
That's terrific.
So
Thanks
why
for
were the
that,
first?
Toby. I've not seen that before. Have a look and see them.
Oh, here's some new ones as well. Okay, so there's a few.
Let's take a look at one of them.
Okay, so we'll pause it.
One of them now.
I'll stop it.
No, leave it going. But
Well,
click
I'm
on
going to
one
stop
of them as you go.
Yeah, no, you're right. You could leave it going. I'm going to stop it because we've got enough to spot check, and I'm quite fearful here that like if we do anything wrong, we're going to do a lot of reverting, right? So I don't want to do much reverting. I want to find our mistakes as soon as we can.
Gotcha.
So let's test. I agree. Let's test a few of them, but and then we can just restart it at the end and let it go. So let's see what happened. Maybe I'll look at my contributions again. It's probably done some contributions now. There they all are. So let's spot check some of those. So for example, this one, no, for no reason, I'm just picking anything. It's a moth, Siobhan. There you go. It's a moth.
Oh, moth. Oh, right.
So that's something that Siobhan cares about too. So there you go. You've got yours. So yeah, insects we're looking for. This is a new statement. We had not done this one before. Let's check if it goes to the right place. Number 65, we're looking for Lecithosauridae. Lecithosauridae, nice. Okay, so that worked. Good spot check. Let's do a few more. Hopefully these are all good. And then
you can do it via the quick statements thing. It's just as easy.
Okay, true. Yep.
Sometimes it's easier.
I do like making really sure of like.
Yeah, no. I'm saying you can get into Wikidata from the quick statements.
True.
Which is easier, I think,
true.
because you can see more easily what it is that you've done because you've just done it in quick statements. So you can look at those ones where you've made a change. So,
yeah.
Whereas.
Okay. Yep. You're right. I'll do that.
Got a whole pile of stuff there in
my user contributions.
Yeah, in your contributions.
Well,
so you've got to pick up where you started and where you.
Okay. Can I? So
I'd just go straight to Carpocinoidea.
I agree with you, except that, and now that we've kind of understood.
Do it with a control, and it brings up a different window. You don't change that window.
No. That's not what I'm worried about. Hang on. What I mean is, your user contributions or the edits on Wikidata are the true thing that is ultimately changing.
I know, but you'll see it. All I'm saying is you can get to where you want to be faster through this window than through the contributions window.
What if I didn't know what the exclamation mark meant?
Well, you do know what the exclamation mark means.
But my point is there's interface stuff that might lead me astray. And I want to be really, really sure. And I know that's annoying, but
do what you like.
Yeah, I know that's annoying, and you are right. We definitely can.
It's faster because you can see it more easily.
Okay, so let's do one check your way then. So the galactic.
No, don't go there. Go
Galacticoidea. Oh no, that one. Yeah, sorry, that one does have an
because it's a new one.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. We know that we need the non-exclamation marks. This one we might have just done, I think.
We just did.
Okay, so we did that one. So we'll do. Oh, go back to this.
See, maybe we'll go down backwards order.
There are some down here.
Momophidae.
Yep. So we'll check this one as well. Another moth, and Momophidae insecta somewhere down here.
There it is.
We got
67. Yep. So that's all looking all right as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we're gaining confidence. Let's let it finish. So I'll let it go for the rest of that run. But then as our next set of 100, maybe we should pick some species or something like way down the list and check if they're working as well. Because it's just super, like when we finally dump this in as a massive batch, we will walk away from our computer and guaranteed we'll come back with people writing to us saying, no, you matched the wrong thing, because it always happens. But anyway, that one's gone through. I think we don't even need to check any more there. 91 because there were 10 we didn't.
Try Crambidae.
You want to check one more? Okay.
Yeah, it's a newie.
Sure.
But I'm sure it's fine.
So insecta. Biota. Yeah, there you go. Number 98. Yep, Grand Bidet. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Happy. I guess at this point we maybe earlier we should have thought about whether we wanted to put references in for these. Some people do this, right?
I find it very silly. I mean, I know you get rude remarks, sort of.
Do you?
Well, you know, if it links, it's its own reference. So it's really stupid that you put in a reference.
I do find it helpful to put the date.
The date, yes, I agree. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's back up a bit. Let's do it this way then. Some kind of stated in and a date, retrieved date. That means I need to look up a little bit about quick statements because let's go quick statements, and then
I normally even just add the retrieved when I do it. I just want, because it links to you're dealing with a data set and you're linking to the data set. But I just think it's quite important to say when the actual linking is happening, because then your data set, that you've got no control over the data set itself changing.
If someone wants to
to
check it out later and there's some problem, then they can
change.
To say
when it comes to taxonomy.
For that you need a reference though, because to put in a date, you've got to put in a reference.
Well, that is a reference. That is we're doing a reference.
I know.
So yes, let's do this kind of reference where we do a stated in and a retrieved.
I hate stated in because
it's not going to hurt.
It doesn't take you to the point that it actually states. You've got to do a search when you get there. So it really annoys me.
Well, this seems to be standard operating procedure.
No, it's not.
Look.
It's not.
Look at them all.
It's really not. Let me see.
Egon does it.
Yeah, look, I don't care who does it. I think it's a crappy practice.
No. Okay, wait. That doesn't mean it's not standard. Even if you disagree with it.
No, but I don't. It's common, but I don't think it's standard.
Okay. Can I say the other precedent we have is what mix and match would have done, and that is not put any reference at all. So,
no. Can I show you what I do?
You're welcome. Okay, I will unshare. I will unshare while I also look up something.
If I can share a screen, which is really helpful, Margaret. No, I haven't put in anything there, but typically, if I want to put in a reference, the kind of reference I get if I go that and I plonk in.
We can't see.
Wait, Margaret, I haven't shared my screen.
No.
Hang on a moment. Where was I? Let me go. Let me minimize that. We need the magic word share. Okay. And now we go to that. And so typically, this is the kind of reference I put in. I agree with you. I probably should have put in a date, but because I was putting it in automatically, I didn't. But that takes me directly to the link, because it's actually this bit here. And so the reference for Burner in 1933 is this one here. And if I click on it.
So wait, can we,
it takes me directly to the thing that is the reference. And that is the thing that you get automatically. Go back, Margaret. You get automatically, but you have to be in, to get it to come up automatically, you go click here. Oh, sorry, wrong thing. You click from here and you just insert as a reference, and so I can say the taxon name, and I've added a reference now.
Okay, so wait,
to show you the reference.
Okay, can we stop for a sec? So first question is, have you considered just supplying it with the ID instead of the
Absolutely,
full
that's
URL?
what I do. That's what I usually do when I'm uploading these things via OpenRefine. I plonk in the reference that is the URL, which is the Australian Faunal Directory URL.
No, but that's, wait, have you considered not putting the whole URL in, just putting the identifier in?
That would be good.
So if you scroll down.
I would actually encourage that, Margaret, for the reason that I have had experience with certain databases which break the URL links. They don't give you stable URLs
Gotcha.
in perpetuity.
So
they
can
change
you
their website and therefore their database, and the URL that you're using will break and send you off to a 404.
Got you.
So if you could expand that reference.
You can see that that's not a URL.
Wait, if you could expand that reference, it is currently.
Sorry, that is a URL.
So, and now, can you, try adding reference. We'll just show you what we mean by that. So add reference. Oh, actually, sorry, it's in the same reference. It's in the top it doesn't matter too much.
No, it doesn't matter. I'll just
add another reference and just type Australian faunal in the property. Wait, over to the left.
Just remove that. And
no, we need one. We need one. So type in that there in property. No, down a little bit up. Yeah, there.
Oh, right. Okay.
Type Australian faunal.
Property.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Australian faunal.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah.
Boy, short. I gave it an abbreviation.
Yeah, nice one.
Good.
Nice
okay,
one.
and then here we're literally just pasting the ID. So if you grab the
Oh,
ID from below,
neat?
and yep, that's it. Paste that. Now this might not be as quick as what you were doing.
No, that's
before,
lovely.
but it's
really
a bit more solid.
And then I just add
no, you don't need
URLs. I'm known at institutions all the time, Margaret, because they do change the URL.
Right.
And
I know that. I know they
3
do.
years ago,
I
I've
don't
done
like
all this work.
this clickety thing was very handy. But this
is no. I
nice.
agree with you. I
didn't realise that I could put this property in as a
reference.
Yep.
Okay. So if you're happy with that approach, then I think we can, and I agree with everything Siobhan said about why it's good. By the way, full URL ones probably can actually be converted to this type. It's just that there's no bot that does that at the moment, and I've been talking to Sam about whether we should make one. But anyway, so what you did before is still fine. It's just that this is a slight improvement, and let's go with the best that we can do for now. So that kind of reference is possible.
That's lovely. I like it. Thanks.
Statements.
Thanks very much.
But now we come back to this when we're adding an ID, though. Do we want a reference for the ID? I was saying it appears to be standard practice. You were saying, oh, but it's bad practice.
See, I think that's it really, it says ITIS, and then you've got to go to ITIS and you've got to hunt for it. ITIS is a huge database. You've got to copy the name.
No, you don't got to do anything. We're going to supply if you really need this reference, you can just click on the ID, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're not forcing anyone to do anything slowly. We're supplying something that is a little bit redundant, but a computer would not actually understand without knowing what the source thing is. So I think it is okay, even though humans will just skip over these references. I think it's okay to supply them as a reference. Mix and match does not do that. And I'm all for mix and match usually, but I think since we're doing it with quick statements, I think we may as well do the full reference.
Let's do it this way, if you would, though, because I really do dislike just stating that it exists somewhere in a ginormous database. And I don't care how many people do it and whether lots of people do it or it's standard. I think it's a very bad standard.
Wait, so when you say this way, though, what you'd be doing is repeating the exact statement.
That's true.
So no, we're not going to do that.
But it's really silly stating that it just is found somewhere in ITIS. No. I don't think that that's a reference at all myself.
But there's definitely no point restating the exact statement as its own reference. So like ID equals number 3, and the reference is ID equals number 3. That really doesn't make any sense.
No, I mean, I find the referencing for, on an ID somewhat silly.
No, I take your point that you don't like it, but others are wanting it and doing it for somebody.
Let's take a look.
Yeah.
as Siobhan says, the real value of that is that it adds a date.
Yes,
I think
let's
that's
add the
the
date.
sole real value.
Okay.
Oh no, there are two things. It does say where it came from. So yeah.
And you're right that no one should seriously follow the chain to go to Fauna Europeana and then, you know, blah, blah, blah.
For most references, I like them to go to where you found the darn thing.
The thing here, though, is you've got an identifier already that takes you directly where you get the information already. So both of you are right. I mean, I'm agreeing with both of you here.
Yeah.
But as I've said, to me, the one piece of information that's used to humans and computers is the date.
Yeah.
But the stated in the linked stated in bit might be useful for computers when they're trying to work stuff out. I recognize that it's redundant. I recognize it's not going to take it exactly where you want to go like the identifier does, but it's possible that that little extra piece of information, even though it's a very broad reference, might be useful for computers later. But the main goal of that reference, in my opinion, is the date. And I think
that's the sole purpose myself. But
okay.
But it's worthwhile for that. So I'm happy with it.
Okay, so let's go with something like that. Can you could you unshare, and I'll go back to showing you what I've got. So there, this is the right screen. So what we need to put in references is some more columns. So this will be the ref, like the first bit of the ref, and then I guess it's the reference property, and this is the reference value, and then there's another reference property, and there's another reference value there. So we need a few more columns. I'm going to change my filter so that it includes all of these. I hope it remembers our old filters.
You had it on username and on.
It does not remember. Okay, yeah, so I've got to put that back. That's annoying.
Take out blanks.
It is annoying when you have to do this, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe I should have inserted column or something. Anyway, that's okay. There's not too much to do. So where's it?
It's right at the top. Oh,
okay. Okay. So what are these things? Well, I just went looking on while you were debating it. Well, no, while we were debating what to do, I found how to add a statement with sources. And so you switch out the P for an S, and this is an example, a direct example of how to do a date. So I'm going to grab that whole date as my value. And then here it's a direct, I've lost the thing. Here is an exact example of how to do a retrieved thing. So retrieved on the 4th of October. So that might work. This is there's something else dangerous. I'll get to that in a sec. I think we have to put quotes around.
You do have to put quotes around that. It goes funny otherwise.
So I don't know how many quotes. I might have to do the four quote thing. Oh no, it works. Oh, there you go. That might be right. There's something else dangerous. So don't let me do this if I haven't addressed it. So now we have to find this value. So like it'll be stated in, which I can find, but then we need to know what it's stated in. Not imported from Wikipedia project. So the other ones were like stated in here, P248.
Yeah.
So S248. And then we need a Q value for this thing. So insects of the world database, which I don't know what it is. So I suppose this one has an example. Wikidata, this one here. Yeah, applicable stated in value is that. So yes, let's grab this.
Oh, nice. I didn't realize that property existed.
Excellent. Okay, so that's a good one. So pop that in. And so that's the kind of line that we might be adding. So I'm going to just do that one as a test. Now, here's the danger. The danger is that this statement is different to the statement that's already in Wikidata.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we may it may not be clever enough to put the exclamation mark. It may just put a whole extra identifier in, which is kind of annoying, but we may, and that might write 85,000 duplicates.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Which,
yes, I know.
Not ideal.
Not ideal. So let's figure that. We'll just do one for now and just see what it does.
One's good.
This will make a duplicate. If we understand it right, this will make a duplicate. It's not 2022 and it's not 2017 anymore. So I should have changed that. 03 and 30. Now I think the 11 means that the date, like it's just day resolution or something. So I might put all of that into here as well. Okay. In case we do copy it all down. The other problem with copying, right, is it might increment. No, it didn't increment. That's good. Do you have this problem with Excel? If I copy down like this?
No, only if I've got an equal sign.
What should? It was okay.
Yeah.
Oh, if it got an equal sign.
If you've got an equal sign and you say add a +1 or something.
No, I don't say add +1.
Calculating something,
it does it
will change. But if it's not calculating something, it will just straight copy.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So let's try and do the one. There it is there. We fixed it. And so maybe it's right. I could be wrong about the quotes. So let's just try, see what happens. Yes. Okay. So it's adding a statement and then it's adding sources. So, this is, maybe it's clever enough. So let's try, because that one was already done. And now the error.
Doesn't like it.
Is that because of the format or what's the error?
I think you've got to remove your statement first of all, which is a pain in the butt.
No, I doubt that's the problem, but I'm happy to do that if that helps you. I think it's just an error.
I think I think
not
it might
a date.
Be help.
That's not a date. Otherwise, it would show it.
Right. So maybe we don't put quotes. Maybe the thing that told me to do this.
But if you've got the plus without the quotes, it will try to do a calculation or do something strange in Excel. I use text editor for all of this.
Where's the manual gone?
Than Excel.
Didn't I have the manual?
You did. I don't know where it went.
Okay, let's go quick. There you go. I've searched for that before. So, with sources, there we go. No, he does not have a quote. All right, let's try it without a quote. So try this with no quote.
Excel won't accept it. It tries to do a calculation. You see, a single quote might do the trick.
Yeah, you're right. I think a single quote will trick Excel enough.
But it's got to be character, and the only way to make it that way is.
Okay, so we'll try this all the way from here. All right.
I've always used text editor for this stuff just because of that plus sign in the thing.
Okay. I don't. Okay, so we'll do a new batch. Try that. Yeah, that came out well. Okay, so import commands, retrieve. That's better.
That looks better.
Okay, so run. Let's see what happens this time.
Fine.
Yes. Okay, and now because it knew that was an exclamation, I think we're going to be okay.
Should be okay. Yeah. It's good, doesn't it?
Let's have a look. Way down here, insects of the world. With a reference.
Beautiful.
Looks good. Yeah.
Very nice.
Okay. Any other improvements? Is there anything else we could do better? No, probably not. This is linkable. We can check the link. That works. It did not create a duplicate. That's great news.
It is, isn't it?
By the way, it will create a new reference if anyone ever says that it was retrieved on a different day.
Yeah.
So if you're ever for some reason re-uploading these ones that we've already uploaded, well, I suppose it depends if you want duplicate references, but be a little bit careful again. Got to be so careful with this stuff. It's amazing, isn't it? Anyway, okay, so that one, you're right, single quote worked. So we'll copy that down, and so let's grab this and copy the whole thing down. that work? Oh, it's thinking. Maybe. What's
just
happening?
one, because if you take two, you've got to double it up, otherwise it gets funny.
No, what I normally do is I just select the ones and then I double click this little box and it copies all the way down the column.
Oh, well
I don't
done.
know why it hasn't done that yet.
Because there's 740,000.
Yeah, maybe it's thinking. What if I just do this?
So true, Michael.
Okay. It worked before.
This is my attitude to Excel. Why isn't it working?
Yeah.
Never works for me.
Like I could do this. I could drag it all the way down, but I don't.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I know why it might not work.
Just take one.
Okay. What do you mean take one?
Oh no, go on. Sorry, I'm not an Excel fan.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to show all the items again.
Okay.
Because it sometimes clear filter. Sometimes it stops the copy down whenever there's a gap.
Okay. A filter.
Yeah.
Or a gap in the data. If there was a.
Got you.
So maybe it's that kind of problem. So I'll get rid of those and I'll try copy down again. That's positive. Let's
so what was the thing you hit to copy the whole way down?
There's a little tiny, look at this. See, this is what I was worried about. No, it's not beautiful.
Oh, that bit's incremented.
And it's not, I did not type equals.
No.
So I think you need to revise your model of Excel. My Excel, maybe this is an old version of Excel, but it's messing everything up. Yeah,
that is disgusting.
So even this, look at the date resolution is changing.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So we do not want that. We want to copy the exact line. And now if I do this, it'll work. For some reason, if you select a batch of them and it notices that they are not incrementing, then it does not force you to increment. So now if I copy down, I believe I will get. So
where's the copy down button on this thing?
So, okay, that worked. So that's good.
Sorry.
I'll show you the.
Toby, where's your copy down button?
Yeah, sorry. I had to check that it worked, but I'll show you. See this, see it right above my cross, my cursor? There's a big black box around what I've selected, but in the very corner of that box is a small black square.
Yep, I've got that.
And if you double click the small black square, then it copies all the way to the bottom of the column on the left. So whatever column is here, it'll just go down and keep going until it stops, until that column stops.
The bad thing about this is I no longer have Excel.
Okay. Well, I can't help you there.
That's beautiful. No, that's very nice.
Okay, so now I think we're okay to do another few spot tests.
Why don't you go to the bottom?
Do you want to go back and
go to the bottom?
Why don't I do the 100 again? Because they now will get this reference.
All right, of course.
You don't want to set your filters again, just in case?
You're killing me. You're absolutely right. That would have been a disaster. So, I mean, it would have thrown errors, I suppose. But what do we filter? So we get rid of this one. This is super bad.
It was automatic.
The automatic and then you go back and it was the Q, I think, with the blank.
Q was a blank.
Yeah.
Thank you, Siobhan. Glad to have you on board.
Oh, dear.
That is important. Okay, so now I'll select. Now select again and get the 100 and put.
You've got 103 there.
Yeah, that'd be right.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm going by the row number.
Right.
Over here. So that means.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
That means there are some that are not matched yet.
Of course.
Of course. Means there are some, even in the higher order ones, that are not matched. But anyway, that's fine. So quick statements, new batch, do it all again. Let's have a look at it. Oh no, we'll just import it and see if it looks good. So adding a statement and then adding stated in insects of the world retrieved in this. And that all says the same thing, right? Because if it was incrementing, we'd have 750,000 pointing to every single different Wikidata item. Okay, so run and let's see that one. Error, that's fine because the Lepidoptera we already had a reference in.
Yeah.
Let's see all of them.
And we're getting exclamation marks, which is great. And we're getting references, which is good too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I'm happy with that as well. So you're right now, Margaret. I think, oh wow, look at that name. That's that's impressive. But I think we should try a species next. We were about to do that when we realized we needed references. So
yeah,
let's go down and do that. How are we going for time? We got 15 minutes left.
Yeah.
I think maybe that's good. Maybe we can
check the reference. Check the
what do you want to do after? Let's say we're happy.
I'm just wondering about that. I think I'd like to try and download the whole thing again, as you've done.
Right.
Because either that or
don't put a different date on.
Well, the thing about that is that I sort of like to save the work that I've done, and keep the matches. Oh, hang on, no, they're all right.
They're still there, and so someone later on will be able to do additional synchronizing. And I think what we might be able to do next time we download, like once we've done these matches, then I think there'll be a way of no, what I was hoping was we could download the set of only the ones that hadn't got to Wikidata, but actually maybe I don't know how to do that. Your edits are stored, right? They're definitely there on Mix and Match. It's just that they're not going to be updated right now. They're not going to be synchronized right now. I think there'll be a later synchronization process that will be required.
Yeah.
But that will always be true, because for some reason this set is not synchronizing itself, which is weird, and I don't know why it's not, but maybe it's just too big. So so we're getting through the 100, or 200. No, but that's because it's adding sources. Okay, so that's good. So we've done that lot, and then we can have a look at. I won't bother resetting errors because we know why that error. I mean, that's interesting, isn't it? It doesn't just say exclamation mark. It says, oh, this is a full-on error because it's already got a reference. But okay, so let's go scrolling all the way to the bottom and grab some of these ones, which I hope are species. We don't really know, do we, until we put it in.
Try it.
So I'll just try 3 lines. Oh, and there's a gap. So that's one of the ones we've skipped. Thank you,
Sorry,
Siobhan.
what do you mean there's a gap? Oh, I see what you mean.
See how the dotted lines, there's a dotted pair here.
Oh, got you.
It's saying that there was something in between which we're skipping deliberately. So that's good.
We filtered them out.
Yeah, so that's all right. And we get 3 lines here, which is good because we did not accidentally include all the ones in between. Sometimes, like you might worry about your spreadsheet program, like if you're using something different, you might want to check that it didn't copy the whole block, even if you had hidden some. Anyway, let's do the import, see if it looks okay. These are indeed species. And since we're just doing 3, let's go ahead and check them after. So I'll commit to that. That one already had it. That one already had it. That one already had it. Ah, well, that's annoying.
We've added dates.
Let's check them.
So
yeah, you're right. That should have done something. So the history of this item. Maybe I did these checks a couple of days ago. Yeah, look, sorry. I did this 2 days ago. Now we've added a reference, so that's good. We can compare that it worked. But yeah, okay. That's all good. And it looks good down here.
I go back up top.
Up top, okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to take a slow down. Go. I want to see the mix and match items, that's all.
Yeah, these here.
Yeah, there.
So remember, Margaret, this
Yes.
you were talking about this in your email.
I was.
Remember that this tool is not universal.
No,
So,
but what do you mean
good.
it's not universal?
Well, this is not part of the normal interface. You and I have added an extension which shows us this stuff.
Oh, right, I'm with you.
But Siobhan, well, probably has added it too. If she
I have added it too.
If she had not, then she would have no clue what you were talking about, Margaret, with all the ticks and stuff.
Got you. I'd completely forgotten that it was a.
Be a little careful of that. Anyway, so
fabulous, but it is niche.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to have a look, but
okay, so that's okay.
Press on down.
I think these three are fine because they are matching up with what I did 2 days ago. I don't think I did much testing 2 days ago. So I think if we grab another bunch, maybe higher up, then I think there's a fair chance these will be new. So let's do them. But it put a reference on. That was good. I didn't do a reference the other day, so that's good. Hang on. How do I do a new batch? Let's go here. New batch. And go. We're getting confident, right? Is everyone feeling confident?
Yeah.
This is new, so I'm even going to let it run this time.
How pleasing.
While we look at that and see what it did. Insects with a reference. Let's check it went to the right place.
Just double check it, make sure it's the right one.
Pubescens, which is right.
Is indeed.
Okay.
Fabulous.
Well done.
Good so far. So I am now quite confident. Am I 700,000 confident? No.
No.
But am I 1,000 confident? Yes. Am I 10,000 confident? Probably maybe do 1,000 first, right? Like you want to just see if we get feedback, if I get feedback. If you want to take the Excel file and run with it, that would be okay too. What would you like to do from here?
I think what I'd like to do is try and download that file again and recreate it and do what you've done. But would it be possible for you to plonk that in Google or something or other so I can grab it and
the file
that you've created? Because it may be the case that I can't download stuff, but I'd really like to be able to repeat what you've done, because seeing someone do something is not the same as doing it.
No, I agree. Doing it yourself is the way to get it in your brain.
For me to use what you've done and repeat it. So just simply repeat what you've done,
So yes, I'm okay with that as a plan, although I would caution you that if you make any mistake, you will not have Siobhan to watch over your shoulder and notice that you didn't filter something.
This is true.
Because we did this as a kind of committee, we've I think got it into a really good place.
We have got it into a really good place.
So I fear that I agree that doing is the way to learn. So if you would like to practice it, I think that's worth it. But I also wonder whether we should
just charge ahead
come back together or something. If you do want to do it that way, maybe let's check it with each other.
So how would you like to go with it, Toby? I mean, this has been really, really good, actually.
Great. Well, let's pause and think about it. You try and repeat it. Just don't do the 700,000.
Oh God, no.
do a little. Just do a little practice and test it out yourself.
And remember to keep the date the same. It won't matter. The date doesn't matter quite. It's not vital that the date's 100% accurate.
Yeah.
It's just an
retrieve today. In this meeting, we retrieved them all, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to send me just a subset of that or the whole data set, Toby, that would be really helpful, because then I'll have I won't have to come back and play the blasted recording to see what it is that you've got there. I'll just, you know how we farted around to get the date, and we've now got it right.
Yeah.
So I think it would be really helpful if I could do it bit by bit and play with it, but also have another crack at, pulling it down. And, so I'm going to do this 2 ways. So my plan would be to try and pull it down to do the download.
Yep.
And to run from here, from the data set you've created, and then to run 5 or 6 of the data set that I create, and then, and see where I'm going with it, because I think it's important that I have the experience of doing all of that. I really do.
Doing the whole workflow.
Yeah, doing the whole shebang. And so I want this as backup and as a reference to me to, and you know, if I get frustrated and just go, I can't be bothered, right, just slam bang, or I won't go slam bang. Obviously it will be 1,000 at a time max, I suspect, because it's all a bit hairy.
So yeah,
because I mean, and the problem with a data set that's 700,000 long is it's partitioning the darn thing. You know, I mean, one of the things that's been really good in using OpenRefine, every time I run a batch, I plonk in an extra column. I'll show you what I've done just so you can see what I've been doing, because I've used, I need to share the screen. Share.
Guys, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to leave because it's almost 11 o'clock and I've got to get up at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
No worries.
So I'm going to get about 5 hours sleep, and I didn't get that much sleep last night. So Margaret, I'm so sorry I'm only here for a portion of it. I've got complete confidence in you though. I know you can do this. And thank you so much for showing that, because I'm probably going to use that. That's really interesting.
Excellent.
I love this.
No worries.
Okay, so sorry to leave you early, but I've really got to hit the sack.
Well, we'll finish up in 5 minutes too, Margaret.
Oh,
so
right, okay.
show us your best. And
I was going to try and I've got a different operating system, which is really annoying. So I've got to just.
Would you like me to stop the recording now?
Yeah, you might as well, because you're not interested in this at all. But